Have you ever wondered what the world's richest people do with their money? Well, if you're wondering how they are managing their money these days in this crazy economy, and maybe how you should also manage your money, then be sure to stay tuned because in this video we are going to go over what some of the richest people in the world are doing with their money. So upon following the money, such as Richard Branson, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, BlackRock, King Charles even, you're seeing where they are looking towards in their investments, and that is up, okay? So they are all investing in the next final frontier, which happens to be a heavenly place called space. And if you are an investor, things will also be looking up for you because you also have a chance to invest in some of the same things that the world's richest people and companies are currently investing in. Now, I want to go over a few things. There are some companies that are unfortunately untouchable to the average investor. So companies such as SpaceX and some other space companies are being kept private. Yes, they are being greedy, but we do have some workarounds, and I'm going to go over why those workarounds that, people say there aren't exactly worth it. And then I'm going to give you an even better alternative to the workarounds to help you invest in the next space frontier and get your money's worth on your investment. Now, as you know, a lot of people have put their money on SpaceX with Elon Musk. And Elon Musk is a very famous and well-known billionaire. And he also owns Tesla and X, formerly Twitter. And a lot of people would like to invest in SpaceX. And I'm going to tell you what, you can't. It's a private company. You can invest vicariously through Google. Even Bank of America, I believe, does own some private equity in SpaceX. But here's the thing. It's a very small percentage of those companies. You're looking at about 0.8% of Google, 0.8%, let me repeat that, is going to be impacted from their investment in SpaceX. So if you're looking to get that space investment and you're purchasing shares of Google thinking that you're getting that exposure, you're just getting a very, very small amount, only 0.8%. So you better like the rest of Google's stuff, because if you're just trying to get to SpaceX through Google, it's really not going to happen. Which is why I'm here to tell about an alternative. Some of you are already invested in the alternative, and some of you aren't, that are just now watching this. And that alternative happens to be Rocket Lab. And I talk a lot about Rocket Lab. I am in no way affiliated with Rocket Lab, but I'm going to tell you the reason why I think you should invest in Rocket Lab. Reason number one, they are a publicly traded company. Okay, they are not private like SpaceX and, Relativity and Firefly and all these other ones that are out there. So main reason is it's accessible to the everyday person, not just the billionaires. And I like that. It's democratizing space, basically. And number two reason why I like it is because it is number two. It's number two only to SpaceX. They have been very, very successful with their launches. They have also other areas that they are investing in and have in their company. So not just rocket launches, but they offer many other things. Think about it. Their solar panels that they have through their acquisition of SolAero just went up into space with NASA's Psyche mission to the metal-rich asteroid. So Rocket Lab isn't just in their own missions, they are in other missions, right? So they work with their competitors even. They've worked with Firefly. They're working with all sorts of space companies. So I like Rocket Lab because they're very diversified. They don't just do one thing, they do many things, which brings the point of they are now currently building a rocket that will compete directly with the Falcon 9 rocket by SpaceX. And this rocket is called the Neutron rocket. The Neutron rocket is new. It's not yet built. So right now, the stock price is at a really, really good entry point. I'm thinking that after Neutron is built, it's shown that it's viable and it is ready to go for missions, the stock is going to go up probably even double where we are right now. So that is going to be the key of Rocket Lab expanding even more, is once that Neutron rocket gets built. Hence the reason I stress, if you want to get in on the ground floor of the space race and this new space gold rush, now is the time to buy Rocket Lab, or if you already have Rocket Lab, to add to your shares. If you're looking to purchase more, now is a great time to buy. And I've said that, and I've said it for a while, and I'm going to keep saying that until we see Neutron built. Because after Neutron is a viable rocket, things are going to change. Rocket Lab is going to be much loftier in the eyes of not just the analyst, but also in other investors that are willing to purchase, which is going to send the stock price higher. So if you're wanting to get on the ground floor, now's a good time. You have so many billionaires investing in space. You know, you have Amazon's Jeff Bezos, you have Elon Musk, and both of them are kind of going head to head in this space race, because Elon Musk has SpaceX, Jeff Bezos has Blue Origin. You have so many new space companies that are coming out because they know this is the next big thing. There's Relativity, there's Firefly, there's all these space companies, and the sad thing is that they're making it only accessible to the wealthy and the individual and credited investors. They are trying to keep the everyday people like me and you out of this new $1 trillion industry. But there are ways around this, and one of the ways around it is Rocket Lab. And I like Rocket Lab because the person that's behind it, the CEO, Peter Beck, he is not some billionaire looking to keep all his stuff just for himself. He is a philanthropist. He is heavily invested into the company that he built. And, you know, he's not a billionaire, but I bet he will be. You know, think about it. If Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Richard Branson, which I'm not going to go into all that because, yes, there are other space companies available besides Rocket Lab. And the one that seems to come to mind would be Virgin Galactic. And, you know, I think it's going to be a little bit more on the risky side. And here's the reason why. Here's why I'm not touching on Virgin Galactic today, and I'm steering you more towards Rocket Lab when it comes towards a viable investment. And the reason being is, think about it. Virgin brand is very widespread. You have the Virgin Airlines, you have the Virgin Voyages, you have the Virgin Records, the Virgin this, Virgin that, yeah, you get the point. Well, I feel like Richard Branson is spread so thin and he's juggling so many plates that a couple of those plates are going to fall and break, and he's not really going to care because he has a whole bunch of other plates that are still rotating. And one of those plates, called Virgin Orbit, already fell and went bankrupt. And you want to know who took advantage of that failure and that fall when that plate fell down and broke? Rocket Lab. That's right. Rocket Lab dived in and they acquired some stuff from Virgin Orbit at a good price. So Rocket Lab is just solely focused on Rocket Lab. They don't have all these other companies and subsidiaries and plates spinning everywhere. The most they've done is make acquisitions to even make them better and to make them more vertically integrated. They are majorly focused on vertical integration, and I find that important when it comes to a company, any company really, especially a space company. Rocket Lab, again, it's more than just about launching rockets. They sell space systems, and they sell those systems to their competitors, their launch competitors and other companies, and they work well with NASA, the military. Let me tell you what, out of all the viable publicly traded space stocks, my bet is on Rocket Lab. So that is the one that you will see me talking about the most, and that is the one I'm recommending to you right now, that if you want to be like a billionaire, if you want to invest in the industry that the billionaires and the mega companies are investing in, then you're going to want to invest in Rocket Lab. And keep in mind, this isn't a turn and burn type of investment. These billionaires have been investing in it for well over a decade now. This is something that's a long-term outlook. But think of the hockey stick, okay? So you have the J, and it starts off going in a straight line, and then just out of nowhere, it's going to start curving and going up very rapidly. And that is what's going to happen with the space industry and investing in the space industry. They are predicting that by the year 2040, the space industry is going to be $1 trillion industry. Not only that, some people are saying, forget 2040, it's going to happen in 2030. So let me tell you what, when you think about investing, think about long term. But in this case, I do think that it's just going to be somewhat flat, and then all of a sudden it's going to go off like a rocket, and it's going to go quick, and you're not going to want to miss that rocket. You're going to want to be on that rocket, so you're going to be wanting to be on that bottom line on the ground floor, so when that rocket gets ready to take off, you're going to be riding it up to riches. And let me tell you what, timestamp this video, come back to this video in 5 years, 10 years, and look at the price of Rocket Lab, and then look at where it is then, and you're going to agree with me. And I have a feeling this video is going to age very, very well in 5 years and 10 years, simply because of where the industry is going and everybody that's behind it. So definitely look into Rocket Lab, do your research. They are not yet cash flow positive, but let me tell you what, once they get that Neutron rocket built, and their space systems are selling and getting more sales, and when Rocket Lab gets their own mega constellation, and who knows, maybe they'll be, a competitor to Starlink, or maybe they'll do something completely different and even better. You'd never know. But let me tell you what, now's the time to invest in the space gold rush. And space is a good investment, and here's the reason why. There are so many things that can go on in space, and you really have to use your imagination. A lot of the technology and things that we have today, people 50 years ago would have never dreamed we would have stuff like this. Things that we take for granted every day, like a television that projects an image and videos from thousands of miles away, anywhere in the world. I mean, think about that. Really wrap your head around that. It's phenomenal. So when I'm talking about upcoming technology for this space age, we could be seeing things. We could be seeing things like mining, asteroid mining. There's lots of precious metals on asteroids. We could be seeing space exploration. We could even see space tourism, right? So we could see more people going to space. We are already seeing that with Virgin Galactic. And again, I'm not recommending Virgin Galactic just yet. My main focus is Rocket Lab, but there could be something there, and I will go over that in another video. So back to the many things that could be happening in space, from tourism to hotels to asteroid mining to military applications and defense applications, communications. I mean, the possibilities are endless. Space is a vast frontier, and I believe it is the epitome of investing right now before everybody takes notice and before the technology goes leaps and bounds to where it becomes a commonplace thing. You want to get in on the ground floor. And that's exactly what happened to investors in Tesla and other stocks, is that they got in on the ground floor when a lot of people just didn't put too much belief into it. And the people that didn't believe in it and didn't have that vision, they missed out on massive gains. And I don't want to see people like you missing out. So definitely, though, do your own due diligence. Don't just take my word for it, but look at the money. See where it's going. See how it's going into all these different space investments. And then look at Rocket Lab. Look at the possibilities there. See where the company is going. See how far they have come and how they are basically the crown prince of space companies right now, second only to SpaceX. And imagine where they could be in 5 and 10 years from now. So there you have it. I rest my case. If you want to invest like a billionaire, put some money in Rocket Lab right now and hold on tight and wait to see it take off one day. And as always, until next time, invest long and prosper.